Hello, my name is Elin. So I've decided to start this channel because I've been recently diagnosed with aplastic anemia. Don't know why I'm doing this. So I'm starting the channel because I thought it'd be something for me to do. Plus, I've always kind of wanted to do it, and also it'll just help raise awareness to this blood condition, disease. I don't really know what category it comes under. But because it's so rare, I thought if I showed everybody my story of it, it might help somebody else in the future when they get get diagnosed with something like this or something similar. So aplastic anemia is basically, it's a life-threatening condition, as the doctor likes to keep saying. It's very, very rare. And what it is that the bone marrow doesn't produce any cells, or any of the cells it's supposed to make. So in your bone marrow you've got three different types of cells. So you've got your platelets, your white cells and your red cells. So your platelets help clot your blood, your white cells help fight infection, and then the red cells help carry oxygen around your body. So I'll put a little diagram somewhere, don't know where. So basically what went first with me was my white cells, so I kept catching infections, so that wasn't very good. My platelets and my red cells held off quite well, but then when I got to Cardiff just before my treatment, that's when mine started dropping, so I needed transfusions and things then just to bump myself back up. So aplastic anemia, I was diagnosed with this about a month ago now, no more than that. Maybe 2 months ago. I was diagnosed with very severe aplastic anemia, so I literally didn't have anything left. Okay, so I found out that I had aplastic anemia because, well, I was in work. My normal day job is a nurse, and I work on an admissions unit, so I was quite busy. One shift I had like a high temperature, and during everything going on I thought, no, maybe I've got COVID. I went to have a swab, that came back negative, so I thought, oh, okay. At the time, I had my bloods checked because I thought maybe my thyroid was out of range, or I'm not too sure. So luckily I went to the GP, had my bloods checked, and they came back and told me that I was neutropenic. So basically, neutrophils are these things that are in your white cells, which help you fight infections. Didn't have any of them. So the GP was thinking, oh, something's not quite right. Anyway, the next week I went back to work because the GP said, should be fine, don't worry, you know, should be okay now. Went back to work and I was back for 3 days, and then I was admitted then onto my own ward because I had high temperature, my bloods were really bad, and they didn't really know what was going on. So I had a bad infection basically. After a few tests, so I was seen by the haematologist consultant, had a lot of blood tests. I also had a bone marrow biopsy, which wasn't the best, but I've had 3 now, so I'm getting used to them. Yeah, it all went quite quick then from there. So I had my bone marrow biopsy. She didn't quite know what it was showing at the time. She said there was nothing abnormal, which was good for me. So it didn't show any cancerous cells, which I thought that's what they were looking for. But then she said, it doesn't show any cells. And I was like, okay, that doesn't really make much sense. So after a few more investigations, the doctor came back then and said, oh, I think you have got aplastic anemia. And I was like, oh, right, okay. So that happened all in the space of 2 weeks. She then got in touch with this aplastic anemia doctor up in Cardiff. He specialises with aplastic anemia. So he wanted another bone marrow biopsy because the first one was a bit inconclusive. So I had one of them, she sent that up, and then he came back nearly instantly after he saw the results and said, she needs to come up to Cardiff now to be admitted, and we need to give her a transplant. And I was like, oh, transplant. I was like, great, here we go. But I'll discuss that again because that's the next video. So yeah, it all happened quite quick. So from being unwell to being diagnosed to then going to have treatment, it all happened within about 3-4 weeks, which is really good because most of the time aplastic anemia is so hard to diagnose that it sometimes takes months for people. So I feel very grateful for that. So that's my story so far. My next video I'm thinking of doing is going to be about treatment options, the treatment options available and the treatment that I then had. I'm going to be filming my journey over the next few months, so subscribe if you want to follow along, and well, thank you for watching my first video.